All right, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that the #1 Woowa CC has dropped a video regarding Duet Night Abyss, and a lot of you guys have been asking me, begging me to react to this video and see what it's all about. Now, the title of the video is DNA 1.1 pissed everybody off, and before we even hop into the video, there was a lot of things that didn't go as planned with the 1.1 update. You guys have heard me talk about them, no glaze. They fumbled with Steam. You should not announce a Steam release without having absolute confirmation you're going to be able to release on Steam. Late launch on the 1.1 update. We had some bugs on launch and we did have some issues. With that said though, there is also a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of doom posting going on. And today we're going to clarify it. I've been, dropping videos talking about it on stream. We've been talking about this quite a lot. So today we're going to see what this video is all about, because there is a lot of people that are interested in my reaction for this video. And once again, no beef, no nothing with Saint. I'm going into this. I have watched a little bit of the video at the beginning to get some context, but I haven't watched all of it. So I overall want to see what it is that we got going on here. So without further ado, let's hop right in.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for us to have a bit of a discussion today about a game that, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going that well. And it's a game that I initially was making content on the channel, but that started slowly falling off as I saw that there were some holes, there were some issues with the endgame loop. And that is Duet Night Abyss. And Duet Night Abyss has just dropped its version 1.1 update, which I think is something that a lot of players were looking forward to, but unfortunately, had high expectations for as well.
I actually covered this exact post on my video yesterday. I have a 1-hour reaction about a bunch of Reddit posts. First off, don't get information from Reddit, guys. If you're trying to play a game, especially if it's free, you know the best way to get your own opinion and see how the game actually feels? You know how you do that? By playing the game. Don't go on Reddit. Don't ask these people. Test it for yourself. It's free. What harm can it do? But yeah, I covered a lot of these, a bunch of Reddit posts. There's a lot of misinformation. People complaining about a bunch of things that really make no sense. So let's see what he has to say.
Considering that 1.0 launched, like I mentioned before, with some of those endgame gameplay loop problems like that. And it appears that the community seems to be very vocally agreeing that 1.1.
Let me move my cam, though. Let me move my cam up here because I'm blocking him, bro. I don't want to block him. I don't want to block him.
One might not have solved the problems. So let's read the situation going on over here.
This.
I've already got my personal grievances when it comes to this game and also its community as well that I'll keep top of mind and make sure to reference.
Yo, low-key, why St. Tontus and I kind of look alike, bro? Like, what's going on here, bro? Why he got the hat? Why he got the shirt? I got the hat. I got the shirt. We both got the little poor man stash, little goatee going on here. We could be related, low-key. Shit, that my cousin right there, bro.
When necessary. I was really on the dev side this entire time, hoping against all odds they might pull through with a redemption in 1.1. It turns out 1.1 is worse than 1.0 when it comes to player friendliness.
Guys, that's a flat-out lie. It's not worse than 1.1 or 1.0 by any means. There's actually some changes. They did increase the level on enemies on theater, but they also increased the rewards of ticket stubs after 12. So you could have, what you want with that as well. So that's the one thing where people are saying that it's less friendly. Some of the microtransactions that were added for items you don't even need to buy from the shop, that it's only there for whales, doesn't really affect the common player. So I don't know what this is all about. Oh, they nerfed secret letter clue farm locations. They didn't nerf secret letter farm clue locations. They changed an exploit players were using to manipulate enemy spawns so they wouldn't spawn where they're supposed to and they would spawn where you want them to spawn. But you can still farm just as much, if not more, secret letters in the spots that we found that we're currently using, and pretty much they're working the way they're supposed to.
The visual upgrades are nice and they are appreciated, but at least a dozen other posts have pointed out everything else has just gotten worse. New animo wedges that go hand in hand with the nerfing of the most popular secret letter farming spot. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, secret letter clues, which are essentially how you get new characters, new weapons, and endgame gear in DNA, apparently they've been nerfed. So that's something to keep in mind too. They also
I'm gonna just be real. I feel that if you're a big CC with an audience, if you're gonna be covering something like this, I feel that you should at least do two things. One, verify for yourself by playing to see if it's true that it really is that unfriendly, right? And two, if people are going to say that, oh, they nerfed secret letter clues and it's worse to farm secret letter clues now, and you're going to say, oh, it seems that they did, you have a lot of people that are playing the game and a lot of people that follow you. You should test those things out to see if it's true. Did they actually nerf secret letter clue farming? Because a lot of people will hear that and be like, yep, they nerfed it, it's done, and they didn't nerf it. Maybe you got to go to a different location, but you're getting the same amount, if not more. So I feel that it's important to do a little bit of testing, and this is why I want to give a big shout out to Gacha Smack. Yesterday, he was told that the game was having a lot of doom posting, the game was trash, DNA sucks, blah, 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 blah. And you know what he said? Despite having a sponsored stream, he launched the stream. He went in, he played a little bit of the story, said the game looked good, the new story looked good, it was fine, that if you're a normal gacha player, you would enjoy the story from DNA. Then he played some of the endgame modes, and despite not playing for weeks, despite not having an account that was actually built, he was able to clear enough content to probably guarantee himself a Fushu copy with an account that hadn't been playing in weeks, unbuilt characters like to their peak potential, no dupes in most of their characters and weapons. So he gave the game a try, he tested a lot of these things out and said, yo, the game is fine, the game feels good, the game looks good, it's not the greatest of all time, but it's good, right? So I feel that you should most definitely check out the game, see for yourself what's going on before you listen or get your information from Reddit posts, because Reddit posts and these Reddit people, we all know the type of Cheeto breath, turtleneck, inbred, cross-eyed people that be on Reddit. Let's be real.
added 20 levels to every enemy in the immersive theater.
They did bump up the levels on immersive theater, and I also want to point out that, one, people have been complaining about two things. One, what's the point of building characters if you can just beat all content without barely even moving and not doing anything, right? Theater is way too easy. Does it even qualify as endgame content when you can just steamroll it with whatever character? And two, regarding theater, once again, I'm not getting enough currency to buy the stuff from theater. I gotta go to wave 55, which I had to do last theater. So what did they do? They made theater enemies a little bit higher level. They did make them tankier, but they also gave you more rewards in theater. They actually give you more ticket stubs from Act 12 onward up to Act 30 something. So I guess you could say they balanced that out, giving players a little bit more difficulty, how people were saying, and an incentive to build your characters, but not building your characters to where you need plus 10 wedges, max stooped units and weapons. Not even close. I posted my video with my clears and breaking down all of this where I cleared with plus 5 wedges for the most part and purple wedges on my characters. One of my characters didn't have max duped, and my supports don't have max duped. They have the dupes you get for free by doing theater and stuff like that, and I cleared the content no problem. So let's see what else they say.
Endgame, which is essentially the same thing as HP inflation. That only serves to gatekeep new players even further from the endgame. And do you want to know what's available in the endgame? The new characters. You are not able to unlock any of the new characters unless you're able to complete the end game. And so
I want to point this out. If you're a brand new player, this post says that only serves to gatekeep new players even further from the end game. If you're a brand new player that started day one with the 1.1 update, you have 27 days. 27 days to clear theater. I didn't get into clearing the later stages in theater until a week or two into the game. I didn't actually go in too deep into theater until later down the line, right? So if you're a brand new player, not only do you not have to clear it day one or you're cooked, right? But you're also gonna have, which I can show you guys real quick. Let me actually pull this up. If you're a brand new player, you actually get this, which we as veterans don't get. You get the classic repertoire, which gives you a buttload of ticket stubs. With these ticket stubs, you're going to be able to buy the weapon dupes for the brand new character. You're going to be able to get 1 copy of the weapon, maybe 2. If you get lucky, maybe 3. You can get an I2 or S2 weapon if you're a brand new player. And in those 27 days that you have available to clear Immersive Theater, right now we have 26, you're most definitely, without tryharding, without sweating, without no lifing, you will absolutely guarantee yourself to clear featured repertoire. As a casual, playing a couple of hours a day, if that, you'll clear this within those 26 days. Maybe even within the first week. Maybe even within the first 2 weeks, honestly. Like, not even sweating it. And if you put a little bit, just a little bit of time investment into your account, just a little bit of understanding which characters you need to use to clear the content, you might easily clear up to Act 6. Easily, casual. Like, I'm talking about a casual player that has 3 kids, 4 wives, 4 jobs, 3 dogs, a cat, and a pet baby cow all living with him. You'll be able to clear up to Act 6 with a little bit of investment into your account. And you know what you get by the time you clear Act 6? You're going to be able to get Fushu. At least 1 copy guaranteed of Fushu with her weapon with dupes as a new player. Being extremely casual, which this is a game that is a grindy game. This is not a game where you just log in 5 minutes and get out. So even playing it as a very casual player, you'll be able to get that. So if you put a little bit more investment, spend a little bit more hours into your account, you will absolutely be able to clear Act 12 by the time these 26 days are up, ladies and gentlemen. And you'll get everything.
So the end game has basically had 20 levels added, apparently, to a bunch of the enemies, and that just gatekeeps the newer players. And so essentially, it becomes a matter of, well, I hope you're paying to progress, or you're paying to I6 units, right? To be
I've never, in the entire time that I've been playing this game, paid to I6 a character. Ever. And I'll never, ever pay to I6 a character. I do not care if they drop a, you guys know me, I don't care if they drop a dark skin waifu with a fat ass and some big old titties in a micro bikini that literally spreads her cheeks as her ultimate. I will not pay to S6 a character in this game. I might pay for cosmetics. I will pay for cosmetics. I will never pay to S6 a character in a game that allows you to get all these characters for free. To I6 them for free. You do not ever have to do that. If you're watching this, you never have to I6 a character. If I go back, guys, if I go back to my account, I will show you. First theater character. She's Intron 3. I got her Intron 2 from clearing theater, and then I did 1 or 2 weeks of weekly missions to get another literal copy of her. That's it. Right? Second character from theater. Intron 2 that I got free from theater. Third theater character. Intron 2. All the characters that we get from theater are at the level that I've gotten them from theater, and I'm clearing all the game almost like this. I've never paid, ever, for any big power increases in the game. On launch, I bought this like stupid little bundle for some materials, and I was like, oh, I fumbled. I'll never do that again. I buy cosmetics. I make my characters look hot and shit. God damn, I will do that. But I'm not going to pay for powering up my characters via dupes. Like, you don't have to do that, guys. It doesn't matter if you go to the shop, dang, and they drop little packs like this that gives you little interwoven thoughts. You can get this. I bought one of these. I was like, why not? Let's try it out. I bought one for $5. That's it. I haven't even used those thoughts, bro. They're just chilling. Right? You don't got to get this. It doesn't matter if you can buy the characters. I don't even know where the hell the characters are, bro. Shit. Prisms. Yeah, bro. I don't even know where the freaking characters are, man. Right there. There you go. Even if you can do this, you don't have to do this at all. You know how long it takes you in this game? Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. You know how long it takes you in this game to get a character that's in the shop? So like one of these characters, you know how long it takes you to get one of these if you don't have them as a new player? Brand new player. You go out as a new player and you farm for 1 or 2 hours and you have yourself a character. Brand new. You know how long it takes you to actually get a character that's in that shop max duped? If you're spending the time playing, about 6 hours to max dupe a character from the shop. 6 hours of playing. Let's extend it a little bit because you wanted to scratch your ass, maybe get up for a sandwich, stretch your legs. You know what I mean? It'll take you 8 hours. 8 hours to max dupe a character from the shop as a new player. And I'm not talking new like you just booted up the game, you played for 15 minutes and you want to... I'm talking about maybe a couple of days of playing. A couple of days of playing, right? 8 hours is all that's going to take you to max dupe a character. You do not have to spend money, guys, whatsoever.
Able to actually unlock these guys if we're increasing the levels on every enemy by 20. You can see over here, this is not looking that particularly amazing, when one of the big complaints that I had when it came to the end game was the fact that there needed to be more. I didn't say that it needed to be harder and that the enemies need to be HP inflated, that there needed to be like more variety in the stages that you could do. You will definitely be playing the end game more, but that's just because it's going to take way longer to actually be eligible to complete it, and you'll spend a lot of time failing runs. It is what it is. Personally,
you will not be spending a lot of time failing runs. If you're someone that's smart, right? We have 26 days. I'm going to give you guys some advice. If you go in and you fail to run one time, don't stress yourself. Don't go in there and keep trying and failing and repeating it and barely beating it by the length of an ass hair. Go out, look at your build and be like, damn, my build looks kind of trash. I'm going to give y'all another example. We're going to be swapping back and forth quite a bit. I'm going to give y'all another example, right? This is what I used, right, to clear featured repertoire, because a lot of people say this is a problem. These are my two main characters. These characters are just kind of just chilling there. These are the two characters I used to be main damage dealers, right? My Psyche and I used my Rebecca. Let's say you have the same team and you're still having issues. That's when you go back, right? You go back into your characters, right? You look at your build and you're like, why the hell do I not have a wedge right there? I don't know why I'm missing a wedge, chat. Okay, don't mind that, okay? But you go back and you look at your characters and you're like, oh shit, I have some purple wedges. Maybe I can get a couple of golds to like +6, get me a little bit more damage. You know how long it's gonna take you to get yourself a +6 wedge? It'll probably take you a couple of hours at most. A couple of gold +6 wedges. A couple of hours, honestly. So yeah, you might look at your build and be like, why is my build kind of dookie? Why is my build kind of ass? I have so much space to grow. Go and do that. We have 26 days, right? Let's say you're on stage 6, you already got your Fushu, you got her I1, you're on like stage 8, and you can't beat 9, 10, 11, 12. Bro, take your time. Go build up your character. Go build up your wedges a little bit. Maybe get yourself a couple of dupes on your character. Maybe get yourself a couple of dupes on the weapon. This is, I think, the weapon that most people be running with her. I have no dupes on it. Go get some dupes. You can go use her signature weapon. Go get some dupes on it, right? What about your Psyche? Your Psyche was the one that carried. Let's say you get your Psyche over here and you look at your wedges. Damn, +5, +5, +5, +5, +5, +5. Shit, I'm not doing enough damage. What about if I go +6? You do have 2 +10 wedges. Okay, maybe do that. It'll take to get these 2 +10 wedges. Let's say you're a casual 3-4 days. Cool, 3, 4, 5 days of farming if you really want to be extra chill with it. And most of that you can stand still just chilling. +5 on all of these, bro. Bro. Go get him to +6 or +8. You don't have to sit there sweating your balls off trying to beat content that still has almost a month left. You don't have to be doing all of that. It's really not that complex.
I couldn't get past Act 7. Enemies there are level 105 already. You need to clear up to like Act 12 to be able to get enough secret letter clues to like build these characters to the level that you want them.
That is absolutely not true. Level on the characters is not tied to the secret letters that you get. That's introns, pretty much your dupes. By the time you clear Act 6, maybe 7, someone could probably give you the exact information. It all depends on your clues and stuff. But by the time you clear about Act 7, you will be able to get yourself your Fushu, maybe even your Fushu and a dupe. But you'll be able to get your Fushu by the time you get to half of the endgame content. Half. And you'll be able to get yourself your Fushu. Guaranteed. Any dupes after that is just quality of life increasing and just the obvious typical, you know, dupes of a character. But you can get them to max level, you know, without the dupes. Nonetheless, I understand, maybe that's what he was referring to, the dupes. But plenty of people can clear with just a regular Fushu with no dupes, or even a Fushu with only one dupe. Matter of fact, her first dupe is really good. You don't even need her second dupe all too much. It's good, and we're always going to want to get the dupes because they're dupes, but you don't need to clear Act 12 to build your Fushu or even get her one dupe. Sure, someone might say I had horrible luck. I cleared all the way to Act 12 and I was only able to get Fushu with one dupe. Yeah, but you got Fushu. That's the main point. You don't need Act 12 to get the character, okay?
So, yeah, if somebody's was previously clearing Act 12 and now they're having trouble clearing Act 7, I'm gonna be honest, guys, that's not looking particularly great. Because I've already shown you how, with a close to max level account, right, I've already experienced gameplay in this game in the end game. And there is a really, really rough spot to keep in mind when, in this video over here, where I'm just playing through some of Duet Night Abyss's end here, what enemy are they in Act 12 right now? They're getting knocked everywhere. Are these guys 105? Wait, are these guys 105? These guys are 104.
Yep.
So in Act 12, in 1.0, they were level 104. And in Act 7, they're level 105? So
I'm gonna just give y'all something. Y'all remember when that MTash video came out and he was saying, I'm beating level 60 enemies and I'm only level 20. Level doesn't mean shit. I'm gonna be straight up. I delete level 120 enemies just as fast as I delete level 80 or level 10, right? That's not that big of a deal. If we're starting to talk about maybe level 140s, 150s, 180s, then we can talk about level. But those lower levels, it's not a problem. What actually makes it feel like it's a problem is the debuffs that we have in theater this time, which we have some very questionable and shitty debuffs going on. I personally have been an advocate for not liking one of these debuffs, and I'll actually go into it right now and show you guys the debuff that I particularly don't like. I don't think this is a good way to promote harder content. I think it's rather just lazy, right? And that debuff is this one right here. Damage taken by enemy units per hit is capped at 35% of their max HP. I think that is a very crappy debuff. If I build a unit to hit really hard, I want that unit to hit really hard. I don't want to hit an enemy for 10 million and only take 35% of their HP because of this stupid debuff. So this is what's causing the problem. No, and it's not even a problem. This is what's causing people to think it's the level. The level doesn't really make a difference like that. Not in these lower stages.
Act 7 is now harder in 1.1 than Act 12 in 1.0. I wanted adjustments to the end game, but not like this. Oh, but I have the intertwined thoughts to make up for the floors I'm missing. And the new premium items save some time on farming. I guess they added those.
You have, bro, look at this. Look at the comment from the guy he's reading. I couldn't get past Act 7. Well, shit, I guess I can just buy the things because that's what the devs want me to do, right? Right? It's the new premium item. The first thought is to doom post and to talk shit. Well, they added this brand new item. By the way, by the time he cleared Act 6, he could already get Fushu, right? And her weapon. So, instead of saying, maybe I'm going to go get good. Maybe I'm going to go build my team a little bit more within the next 1 week. Out of the next 26 days. Out of the next 26 days, I'm going to take 1 week, 7 days. 7 days to build up my account so I can beat theater. Nah, the devs are making it predatory by putting these things that you can buy in the shop. The same devs who we were asking for ways for us to give them money because there was no way for people to spend in this game. There was barely any cosmetics, barely any valuable packs in the shop. And now they added a little bit of things to players so they can spend money. Nah, they're making it so I have to get it. It doesn't matter that I have 26 days left to clear this to get all my goodies. Nah, bro, they're predatory. Bro, like, what are we talking about? And once again, I'm not even going at Saint. At this point, so far, Saint is reading a goddamn Reddit post, dog. People probably sent it to him. They gaslit him into, yo, this is how it is, bro. Make this video. Make the video. And he's reading a post that has 354 upvotes. So it's looking pretty legit from what he's probably thinking, right? So far, my gripes are not with him, but what he's reading as a post. And you guys know that I've already reviewed this post on my other video.
Honestly, HP inflation for the endgame coming as early as 1.1 has to be some sort of record. I could farm for the new wedges, but at this point, all the wind has been taken from my sails.
I just want to point this out. There's a little bit more investment. A little bit more investment, chat. This right here, this is the exact Rebecca that I was using. I don't know who kidnapped my wedge. One of you guys in the chat stole my goddamn wedge. But this is the exact same build that I've been using on my Rebecca for the last 3-4 weeks. Easily. I don't even know what wedge was there, bro. That's how, this is the exact same build I've been using on my Rebecca. This is the exact same Psyche build I've been using on her. The only thing that improved in the past month and a half since the launch of the game was me getting Wings Inspo. That is just a general mod or wedge for a lot of people that gives me sanity and skill efficiency, allows me to play her more smoothly, and dual, which allows me to do a little bit more damage. Everything else is +5. There are some other improvements that I've done to this character in general, but I haven't gone crazy with the improvements to my account. In a month and a half that I've been playing the game, it's not like I've been out here just going crazy with the improvements. And I'm still able to clear up to Act 12 with characters that I haven't improved heavily in weeks, bro. In actual weeks. So if I would have decided to stick to improving, you know, Rebecca and improving Psyche, I would have blown through theater literally half asleep. Like, literally half asleep, chat.
And they, unfortunately, I think sets some sort of standard of, okay, we're going to introduce new wedges that I guess players are to be incentivized to grind for, and I guess you'll have to grind for them because we're going to ramp the difficulty up in the end game. And so I get...
Okay, the new wedges they introduced, I just showed you my build. I don't use them. I haven't even farmed for them yet, and I cleared everything without them. And I didn't struggle. It's in my VOD. I did everything pretty much in one go. I think I had to reset one stage because I wasn't paying attention. That's it. Everything was in one go, barely paying attention. Talking to the chat, making jokes, talking crap. Didn't need the new wedges whatsoever. At all.
The idea behind, like, creating, like, the gear treadmill and stuff, like, the gear treadmill and stuff, right, to be able to get this going, but I don't think in a way where it's making the players feel like they're defeated, and it's also basically making them, like, reverse their progress, because that's what happens on the treadmill when you rapidly increase the speed, but then the player can't run any faster. We can't run any faster because we've been playing on 1.0 this entire time. And so to have Act 12 turn into the new Act 7, and then the enemies go from over here, right? Like they used to have 104, level 104 at Act 12, now they're level 124. I'm gonna be real, man. This is a little bit rough. And I don't think players want to play so much to the point where they're I6ing the units that they want to bring into the end game, because that's a lot of time to commit to the game.
I don't think players want to play so much to I6 their characters because that's a lot of time to invest in the game. I'm going to just say two things. One, you don't need to I6 your characters, right? You don't, to clear content. I showed you my Psyche at I3, right? My Rebecca is I6, but that's just because she got big titties. But my Psyche is I3. Plenty of other people clear without having max duped on their units. Plenty of other people have cleared other theaters without having max dupes on their units. People cleared the last theater, the Umbra one with Fantasio, with like no dupes or 1 or 2 dupes at most, right? And the second point is, if you're playing a game and you enjoying it, and you have the opportunity to farm your characters, I don't think it's a negative to want to +6 your characters. I don't think you're a no-lifer if you +6 your characters. It literally takes you one game day. One game day to +6 a character. If to you, someone that takes 1 day to play video games, 1 day, 6 hours, and someone in the chat was calling me out. Matter of fact, chat, I need you to start spamming. How many hours does it take to factually get a +6 character, an I6 character from the shop? Like farming the letters and getting the character. If you're a player like that's playing DNA, how long does it take you? Let me know in the chat right now. So if I'm gonna say 6 hours, I'm even gonna say 8 hours. The chat can go ahead and tell you real time from people that are all playing this game, right? I need the chat to actually let y'all know, but I'm gonna say 6 to 8 hours, right? If you call someone or think that someone that plays this game for, 6 hours, or any game for 6 hours a day, or you split that between 2 or 3 days and you have 2-3 hour game sessions between a couple of days, is a no-lifer, needs to touch some grass. I don't know at what point in gaming we went so far off the path where we now criticize gamers for just gaming a couple of hours a day. Not saying that he's doing that. I'm just saying the post that he's reviewing is making it seem like it's bad, whereas I don't think it's bad. I got Niffle in 5 hours, 2 days, 5 to 6 hours, 4 hours, 3.5 hours, 4 hours. That's literally how long it takes to I6 a character. So it's not like it's too much.
And when the end game is constantly resetting when it comes to its elements, brother, if you need I6 units to be able to clear with the ramp up in difficulty and they're switching elements every...
You don't need I6 units, and Anemo has been in theater for 3 theaters. So you could use Psyche, Theater 1, Theater 2, and, Theater 3. So it's not like you had to swap all too much. Now, the other elements, okay, we had Umbro, we had Lumino, and we had Pyro. So we had other ways, right, to go ahead and do things if we wanted to. But it's not like, 1, we need dupes, and 2, we haven't had the option of using the same exact element this whole time.
Reset. That's a lot of time just to be able to, like, clear the end game. That's a lot of time. Because if you, to do Act 12 right now, level 124, I do think you will actually need multiple introns. And then get ready to farm another set of introns for the next on-banner favored unit. You can see over here.
So basically, you're going to have to spend a couple of hours for a few days playing a game that you're enjoying just to get a max duped character. Something that not only is usually impossible for 99% of the player base in a gacha game, but also takes a lot of time if you're like free to play and stuff like that to actually get multiple dupes of a unit, right? So I don't think it's that far-fetched to be like, yo, let's say the next theater is Lumino. Not only do we have the current time to farm your Lumino dupes, considering that it takes you a few hours, 3, 4, 5 hours, but you have the entirety of the next theater reset to get your dupes on your, let's say, Lady Niffle, right? Your Lumino character, to clear that. A few hours a day. That's all. A few hours gaming. Bro, I be hopping into Fortnite, into Black Ops, into any game like that, and I play like 4 or 5 matches, look at the watch, and it's been like 2 hours. It's been like 2 hours. But somehow playing this game for 2 hours a day, if you want to dupe up your characters, it's like, yo, you got no life, bro. You got to go touch some grass, eat some ass. You got to do something because you got no life. You know what I mean? That's why these Reddit people really are out of touch, and they're trying to doom post on things that really make no sense. They're so gacha coded that they don't understand. Nah, bro, 2 hours? You know how many gacha games I can log in and do my dailies for in those 2 hours? At least 47. I can log into 47 gacha games and do my dailies and do all my stamina in 47 gacha games in those 2 hours. How could you play 2 hours of a video game? Of one video game? What are you talking about?
Combine these You hit in nerfs over here to farming areas. Then you have the adjustments to the end game. If it was balanced like it was in the 1.0 state, where it's relatively easy to be able to clear, switching the elements isn't that bad. But
in 1.0, it wasn't easy to clear theater. It was a snooze fest. You can grab literally almost any character. You can grab the worst character in the game. You can grab Randy, garbage truck juice Randy, dumpster Randy, and clear Act 12 with Randy while you were half asleep scratching your butt. It was a snooze fest, bro. It was so easy that players were saying this is not endgame. I don't even need to build my characters for this. That's not easy. That's just another AFK stage because of how easy it actually was.
if you need to be able to clear level 124 enemies and you're switching the elements, that's a lot of grinding. That's a lot of work. And one thing in this game that a lot of players took for granted when it released was the fact that time is apparently free. Guys, time is free for some people. If you're somebody that does literally nothing with your life, you have no responsibilities, nobody needs you, your time is worth nothing, and you've got a lot to spend it on the game to be able to I6 every unit for every single immersive theater reset. Not everyone else has that time. Not everyone else has that little, is that aimless in life. But the...
Oh, man. See, now I see why people wanted me to react. I feel that, look, I feel like if you're going to react to a Reddit post, and I'm not telling him how to react, he's a much bigger creator, way more successful than me. Go ahead and talk about what they said in the actual post. But I personally don't know if Saint has I6 the character, so he knows from personal experience how long it actually takes, right? I also think that calling players that play these games for a few hours a day, like I said, it takes a few hours to I6 characters, calling them aimless in life and they got nothing better to do with their life or their time is actually the right way to go about things. I think that's, you're attacking people without actually knowing how long it takes, bro. Every time a new WUWA update drops, let's say you do the story, you do the new events and new game mode, let's say you're in the patch for 6 hours, right? In those 6 hours, you could have I6 the character. You could have I6 the weapon. You could have done a couple of builds for units, right? Not only that, if we're talking from streamer to streamer, we usually stream for about 4 or 5 hours, right, Saint? Homie talk, streamer talk. In those 4 or 5 hours, you could have duped up a character, right? And then an average player, a casual player, let's say we go by what the chat is saying, right? And it does take 5 hours, 6 hours to I6 a character, right? And let's say you play 1 hour a day. If now we're going to go down and say 1 hour a day is too much gaming, I don't even know how to answer back to that. But let's say 1 hour a day of gaming. That means it would take you 5 to 6 days to max dupe a character. And if we want to say, well, you're going to need to max dupe a bunch of characters for endgame, I just want to point this out. Ever since the game launched, I've put a lot of time into this game, right? Whether it's recording videos, just playing the game, enjoying the game, whatever it might be. I put 727 hours into this game. I know. No life, even though I got a life. No life, yada, 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 right? And within that time, I've max duped Lady Niffle. I've max duped Rebecca. And I've max duped Lynn. I could literally scroll through all my characters that I used to beat this game. Every single bit of content in the game. Every single bit of content in the game. And I don't have them max duped. Most of my characters don't even have dupes. Most of my characters aren't even unlocked. I'm still missing 2. I'm still missing 2 characters. I have 3 max duped characters. And matter of fact, I just want to say, only Lynn as a pyro character was technically boosted as a featured character for theater. You could say that Lady Niffle, because I did clear with Lady Niffle, because part of her kit deals Umbro damage. But that's just because I like her, because she got big old bitties, right? And they jiggle when you shoot her bow, right? I built her before we even knew we were going to get an Umbro theater. So you don't need max dupe on all your characters. Weapons. We can go to weapons. I have Wayne Wraith max duped. I want you to see my weapons. I want y'all to see my weapons. And I know some of you hard grinders are cringing. I have 2 weapons here that are max duped. 2 weapons max duped right here. From my ranged weapons, 1, 2. What a casual. What have you been doing for 700 hours? Just chilling. Playing the game, you know? Like this. What's up, guys? Yo, you want to grind some stages, bro? I'm just chilling. What y'all doing today? Yeah, I'm down to farm some clues. Some Luno Memento. That's me. If someone like this has been able to do this, what are we talking about? You need all this hard, sweaty investment. Not only that, I have only 1 character in my entire account that I've actually got demon wedges built for. 1. In my entire account, only 1 character has their demon wedges maxed out. 1 unit out of my entire account that I've only been able to use technically in 1 theater, because I didn't have her built for the first theater, so it was in the Umbro one, right? She's the only unit. All my other units, like I said, if we go back, right? If we look at my other units, +5 on most wedges. Let's say the other unit that I have that is all purples. If we go back to Rhythm, all purples, except Winks and Spoke, because that's just on everybody, or on a lot of units. Her, Rebecca, purples, and somehow missing a wedge. So, like, you know, she's the same because she's using the same wedges as Lady Niffle, right? When we look at all of this, bro, like, what are we really talking about here? Like, where is the argument coming from? And this is not talking from someone that's window shopping. This is not coming from someone that's looking at Reddit posts. This is coming from someone that has 700 hours in the game, that has beat all the content, that can now beat all the content pretty much half asleep. And I'm telling you, this is a very minimal investment account for, like, someone with my hours. People with my hours have max duped every unit, max duped every weapon. I'm just chilling. I can clear everything. You don't need those levels of investment. You don't need to not have a life or a purpose in life to actually clear content whatsoever. You can play this casually. You guys got to understand, I have 700 hours in the game. A lot of those hours, I'm recording footage. I'm recording videos so I can put out on my channel. So someone that doesn't do all of that could have my level of progression in easily less than half my time.
Mindset of this community has been, everything in this game is free. You can grind everything.
Yeah.
So if you can grind everything, it doesn't matter what you spend your time on. You can just get everybody on
Why does he do that voice? It's kind of extra.
i6 with enough time. And that's one of the reasons for why I actually stopped making content for this game. Because I made this video over here.
Damn, that looked crazy down there. Why he looking at me in my soul in this thumbnail? Jesus.
A month ago, announcing to players, Liz Bell is a beginner trap. You want to know one of the reasons why I said she's a
because that thumbnail
beginner trap? You can just see it on the thumbnail.
Crazy.
When the game launched, the immersive theater, the end game, required pyro or animo units.
Oh boy, this is a video that when the game came out, you guys really wanted me to react to this video as well, because wow, y'all wanted me to react to like almost every single Saint Tonta's video that he's dropped on DNA. And there was some very interesting takes in this video, and I actually have it prepped. I have kind of gone up to, I believe, a little bit up to this part. I didn't react to it, I just kind of skimmed through while I was waiting for my vet appointment so they can check my dog today. Kind of skimmed through it, and this part right here, I remember why people were so upset, and I do have some clips that we're going to take a look at. But let's see what he has to say.
Lizbel is like a Spectro one, or a Lumino one, right? She's a Lumino one. And so, when in the end game, in this end game, if you're not using the favored elements, you deal like 75% less damage. You deal 400% more if you're on the right element. You deal 75% less if you don't.
Actually, you deal 50% less damage. 50% less damage. I know it's just numbers, but not 75% less damage. 75% is crazy. 50 is already ass, but 75% is crazy. But it's actually 50. I'm gonna have to hit you with the actually is 50, not 75. I just want to clarify that for anybody that didn't know.
Have the right one. So if you don't bring in the right element, it's not clearable. It's literally not clearable. I said
People have cleared all of these stages since 1.0 up to 1.1 with off-element characters. Constantly. Lady Nipple shit on the 1.0 theater. She really shit on the second part of the 1.0 update. You could probably do work with her here if you have her well built, of course. And like I said, 1.0, people was clearing it with like almost any character, bro. Like they was clearing it with Randy in 1.0, out of all people. Randy. He sits on a chair.
Lisbel was a beginner trap a month ago. Really, it's 2 months ago at this point, because Lumino was not favored, because she doesn't do enough damage to clear. You want to know what the reception was? This retarded community of either unemployed adults or actual literal school children
I just want to know something. I think, and this is just my personal opinion, I think Saint Tontus is very smart, because he knows exactly what to do to rile up communities. He knows that when he says things like this unemployed community, and he attacks the people, it's going to generate interaction. It's going to generate people wanting to talk. And I think that's smart, right? That's what you got to do as a content creator. Make you feel something, whether it's happiness, rage, laughter, whatever, right? But why do we gotta go that route, right? Like, why do we gotta go that route? I'm gonna start going that route. I've been kind of applying that a little bit, ticking off certain people that are just being dumb. People are being dumb, you gotta call them out. But let's see what he has to say.
Proceeded to tell me, oh, you just rage baiting. Oh, Bo is basically telling us not to build Cartithia because this TOA is error resistant. Lisbel's the GOAT. What's wrong with this guy? You see, there are just so many comments in here, right? And then the video got mass disliked as well by the community. And you want to know what's a fact about Lisbel?
It's a fact that when the game came out, or it's actually a fact even to this day, that if you're playing this game and you're a brand new player, you can actually get Lisbel. I don't even remember where to look at. You can get Lisbel for free. I don't even remember where you look at, guys, but you get Lisbel for free. Say here, by doing Mystic Mace. That's a fact. So when we got Lisbel, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I got Lisbel from here. I built her. She was the second character I built in my account. I built Rebecca because she had big old titties and because she was great for farming. But I built Lisbel second because she hits like a freaking truck. I kid you not. With a mid-built Lisbel, right? I didn't have gold wedges. I had all purple wedges, all of them. I was able to clear Classic because I used Rebecca and I used Lisbel at first. Eventually, I built up Lynn for my full cleared of Immortal repertoire. But I cleared Classic repertoire, I cleared Feature repertoire, and I cleared several floors of Immortal repertoire with Lisbel. Until I think maybe Act 4, 5, or 6, where my Lisbel, with such low investment, stopped clearing super effectively. And at that point, I was like, I'm just going to build Lynn because she was Pyro and Pyro was boosted. And I wanted to build a character for a video on my channel. So I built Lynn, and then I just breezed through everything. With that said, people did clear all the way to Act 12 with Lisbel if they put a little bit more investment. I just didn't have the time, right? So with the free character that we were able to get from Mystic Mace, right? I believe we got 2 dupes. I've never farmed Lisbel, so what's Lisbel in here? Where the fuck? Where's she at? I got Intron 2 Lisbel from Mystic Mace. I was able to clear all of Immortal Theater all the way up to like 4, 5 or something like that without ever really sweating my build. So I don't think there was a big problem with building Lisbel. It took me like a day because you grind the maze. You already get your Lisbel from there. You get the shards. Boom, she's done, right? And then it took me like a few hours to grind the Lumino wedges. And I popped it on her and she was clearing stuff. No problem. It didn't take me a week. It didn't take me 3 days, 2 days. It didn't take me 20 hours, 8 hours. It took me a couple of hours to get my Lisbel up and running to where she can carry me up to where I needed to go.
This was the second reset of the game. It went from Pyro to Animo to Umbro. And you want to know what it is now? Animo and Hydro. So it will have been literally 3+ resets. And, sorry, this Lisbel unit is still not usable in the endgame. And you want to know what my advice in this video was? Don't build a character or heavily invest in them unless they're going to be usable in the end game. Because otherwise, you're going to be spending all these resources into all this building going into a unit that you can't even take into the hardest content. And
I want to be real because I remember that you guys told me to react to this video back in the day, and we got some clips to watch regarding this topic. This video didn't just get disliked, right, chat? Because he said that Lisbel is a beginner trap. That was part of it. A lot of people had built Lisbel. A lot of people had cleared the content. So they were like, I've cleared the content. How are you going to tell me that she's a trap and that she's bad when I've actually cleared the content? So they were like, this has to be wrong because you haven't tested. You haven't gone for yourself to see if it truly is just useless to have this character that we can build within a day to actually have it build. The main reason that this here video got disliked was because the video is a presentation on don't make a mistake. Don't do something wrong that can ruin or mess up or slow the progress in your account. And in this same video, you said this. I have these two clips I want you guys to look at. And he said this, and this is another reason why people were upset. It's a video about, right, don't make mistakes. Don't do the wrong things for your account. And you say this.
And the thing is, you'll have people that are telling you to do terrible things for your progression, like build Lisbel, a Lumino DPS, when the shield elements are Anemo and Pyro. The real correct decision to be making is to invest in Anemo DPS characters and then Pyro DPS characters. Because that is the restriction that you have in these first 3 acts over here. It's the same on both sides. That's actually why I built a Yale and Oliver to be...
Okay, so, absolutely true. If you want to have an easier time, absolutely build the characters that are, you know, buffed on the element. That's facts. He didn't say nothing wrong right there. But here's where people got upset. He said he built Yale and Oliver. A weekly character, right? A character that you can only get by using your weekly runs on this unit, right? We have Lynn that you don't need to use your weekly units, your weekly runs on. At the point that this video was made, there were so many better investments for your weeklies than Yale and Oliver. It's so much so, ladies and gentlemen, regarding Yale and Oliver, that I am 700 hours into the game and I haven't even built Yale and Oliver. Because he's so unneeded, so unnecessary, that you don't have to build this character at all. So when you told people, yo, you're making a mistake for using Lisbel, you guys are doing this wrong, and then your advice was to build a character like Yale and Oliver, when you could have used your weeklies for like a Rhythm, which was and is one of the best farming characters, or an Embla and Florence, the best in slot weapon for Lady Niffle, people were like, okay, you're saying people are getting told bad advice regarding a character you can build in a couple of hours, but use your weekly runs on a character that you don't need because you have the much better version, which is Lynn, that you don't need to use your weekly runs on, right? And it goes deeper, right? We go into this video right here, and he says this.
You have a choice of DPS characters that you can use. I personally went with Yale and Oliver for one specific reason. You can see from the skills highlighted over here, skill damage and skill range, he's a character that benefits a lot from skill damage. And, frankly enough, you get a free skill damage weapon just from playing the game. You get Wayne Wraith as like a quest reward, and that thing buffs skill damage. He is one of the easiest characters to get up and running. You just get your copies of him from the Nocturnal Echo.
You know who also uses the same exact weapon? You know who uses that same exact weapon, chat? Lynn. Lynn uses that same exact weapon. I'm just saying.
Commission, you go to the Crystallo file, and you can just grind him. You can already see I've got about 21 completions on his secret letter. That's what it took to unlock him. And, well, I didn't need to spend any of...
Okay, so now we're seeing why people were upset. You were saying that they made a mistake by building Lisbel despite a lot of the player base, including me, having used Lisbel to clear insane amounts of content, right? And it took us like a day, and we get it for free, and we get her instantly by clearing Maze. And then you proceeded to say, in the same video, you said people were given bad advice, to give bad advice by saying to farm the weekly on a character that literally nobody uses like that. You might find a 0.01% of the community that might use this dude, and you don't need him. I would argue to say easily that it is a much worse, in the time this video was uploaded, a much worse advice to use your weekly to build Yale and Oliver than it is to build up Lisbel. I would say it's a much worse advice to give than building Lisbel than using your weeklies on here. He's used 4 weekly runs to get Yale and Oliver, where you could have used those to get a lot of the weapons and some other character that could have been a lot better. That's just my take regarding this particular thing, and that's why this video in particular got doom posted to hell and back, because of things like that, right? Because of things like that.
Hardest content. And I guess when the content goes up to level 124 at the max level, you kind of really want that 400% damage bonus. 400% for using the favored element. You kind of want that to be able to clear. But instead, I had all these retarded children telling me, but everything's free. But Saint, everything's free. I can brute force everything. Look, guys. She does more damage. This is a dumb take. You are approaching the game like it's a gacha. It is not. This is a collection game. You're right. You should definitely collect the character that you can't even play first. Yeah, when there are limited time rewards, you should go collect the character that doesn't help you get any of them first.
I just want to point out once again, Mystic Maze, if we go back to Mystic Maze, you want to do Mystic Maze. Oh, it's right here. Oh, no, it's not there. You want to do Mystic Maze. Mystic Maze gives you all of these rewards for clearing the game mode. You get all of these very valuable things like this and these valuable threads of time by simply clearing the game mode, right? I also want to point out, you can buy a lot of these things from Mystic Maze that are pretty good. You can buy some consonant wedges as well. But this is just some of the things you can buy from here. One-time purchases, weekly resets. So you would normally just naturally do Mystic Maze. If you're naturally going to do Mystic Maze, right here, there we go. Look, you get literally Lisbel letters and you get Lisbel thoughts. So by the time you clear level 50, which you can do very, very, very easily within your first day of playing this game, maybe the first 2 or 3 days of playing this game, not only do you have a full Lisbel, so like full, you don't have to farm it, you just get her instantly. You also have all these letters for your Lisbel right here. Boom. That's 22 letters that can give you a dupe, plus all these other currencies that you can use in the shop. So it's not like you really got to do too much and go out of your way to get Lisbel. You don't really got to go and farm clues for 3 days. You just kind of do this that you're already going to do to get resources, and you get your Lisbel. And then you take 2 hours to build up her levels, her skills to like level 6, and you're good to go. You're able to clear the first, second, and a few stages of the Immortal at the time of that video being out.
And max her out. 100% the character that does nothing for you. Yes, max her out first. Imagine that basic meta advice like this gets mass downvoted. Why would I want to make content for a community this retarded? I basically just said 2 + 2 = 4 and got a 50% dislike ratio. I couldn't deal with it. I could not. So this is a huge reason for why this video over here is one of the biggest reasons for why I stopped making content on the game. Because
Are you sure it had nothing to do with the viewership? I'm just saying that views is kind of low for his viewerships, because he gets some really good viewers. Like, he gets a lot of views, so maybe it was viewership that wasn't doing too good. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know how his other DNA videos came out or his DNA streams.
I liked it. I saw the potential. But unfortunately, seeing how the devs are almost like reverse engineering their systems to like make them worse and not addressing the real issues, right? And then I get to look back and see how stupid the community actually was when all I'm trying to do.
In DNA, you can infinitely grind, but you pay with your time. Spending the time to level Lisbel and have her unusable in the serious endgame content is a waste that many players will want to avoid, especially those who might have jobs, kids, or other responsibilities. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, if you have jobs, kids, and other responsibilities, you should just play the games, whichever game it is, whether it's this, Call of Duty, whether you're playing WUA, whether you're playing whatever, just play it at your own time. You don't need to hurry. It ain't a race. You don't need to, beat everything day one. Take your time. Beat as much as you can in the time you have to play and enjoy the process of gaming. You're not going to be stopped from progressing in this game if you only got a couple of hours a day to play. If you only got an hour a day to play. If you play this game for an hour a day, you can beat all the content within the time that the game is out. Within a new theater, you could be a new player right now, dedicate a few hours, the first week, usual excitement for a game. You play your typical 3-4 hours a day the first few days, and then go back to 1 hour a day. You'll be able to clear most content, no problem.
Is help them navigate the challenges in the game. I'm going to be honest, brother. I wanted this game to succeed, but do you want to know what I unfortunately feel right now? Part of me is like breathing a sigh of relief that 1.1 wasn't like a WUWA 2.0, because now that means I don't have to interact with this community anymore. Genuinely.
Damn.
Part of me is literally breathing a sigh of relief.
He's relieved that the game didn't do good as WUWA 2.0, because now he doesn't have to. I'm going to be honest, even if it had been as big as 2.0, you still don't have to interact with the game if you don't like it. I play this game because I like it. I barely get views. And I just play the game because I enjoy it, regardless of if it had blown up or not. 3.0, WUWA's blowing up. I'm sure it's going to be big, and I haven't been uploading content, and I've made a lot of WUWA. I have a ton of S6, R5 characters in WUWA, and if I'm not vibing with the game, I'm not making content on it. But saying you're relieved that it's not popping off like WUWA because you don't have to make content sounds kind of salty, bro. Like, you don't got to hate on it that much. God
I
damn.
don't have to interact with this community anymore because I can't deal with people this fucking dumb to the point where basic, obvious, meta advice just gets mass brigaded. It's just simple and logical. Nobody can dispute this. Oh, this post got... Oh, I guess there's a little bit of drama surrounding the space right now. Apparently there was like a giant post over here calling out toxic positivity in the community, and it got deleted from the main subreddit.
Oh.
I can see why they're already doing it, especially considering that there is a lot of negative PR. This post isn't deleted though, so I imagine that the other one was a little bit more doom posty. If this one got deleted too, alarm bells would be going off. Maybe this one was just super doom posty because this is very negative, right? I think it's fair to say this is a very negative post.
Not only is it very negative, it comes off as doom posty, bro. Saying that you can beat that Act 7 the first day, a 26-day update drops, 27-day update drops, and you can't beat it on the first day, and it's because the devs implemented a way to purchase the dupes of the characters, is you basically saying they're predatory. They implemented predatory ways when you still have 27 days to beat it. So yeah, this is doom posting. You're making things seem like they're not. For this post, I'm talking about the post.
Honestly hope a large amount of players end up leaving so that the devs understand that these player-unfriendly changes are not good for their current game state. Doubling down on aspects people didn't like in the first place is not the way to go. You can see this one's also super fucking negative too. I'm surprised that this one's still up and this one isn't. Maybe there was something wild said in here. Who knows? Anyways, doesn't really matter to me at the end of the day. I've already given my take. I've already given my reasons. And I said, I'm waiting for DNA 1.1 to see whether or not it's time to come back to the game. And unfortunately, from what I'm hearing, it literally sounds like a lot of the game has just gotten worse. And unfortunately, it's also the things that I critiqued. Like systems that I critiqued. And so instead of those systems becoming better, it does actually sound like they've become worse. We'll stay posted to see how this situation develops. But yeah, DNA 1.1, it is looking a little bit rough. Let me know what you all thought, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. Peace out.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much the video. I gotta say, look, I gotta say this. Personally, I feel that you don't have to. At the end of the day, you could do whatever you want. At least give, and this is not a message to Saint, this is just a message to any content creator out there doing things like this. If you're gonna make a critique on a game and you have an audience that's listening to you and you genuinely don't have negative intentions, and because I'm not saying he does, I'm just saying you don't. If you genuinely don't have negative intentions and you're just trying to, you know, inform or put out some information or some news regarding something, play the game. Play the subject or interact with the subject that you're covering yourself. Get your own opinions. Get your own interactions. Your own feel for what it is that you're covering. Don't base it off Reddit posts without actually testing the game. Once again, shout out to Gacha Smack. He did exactly that yesterday on his stream. And see for yourself what it is that people are saying. Did they really nerf it to make it impossible? Is it harder? Absolutely. There's been times in WUWA, right, where they added 2 floors. Didn't the community implode when they add 2 new floors to immersive theater to the end game, to the tower mode in WUWA? Didn't the community implode? Oh, they made it so much harder. This game sucks. This game is trash. The devs want us to pull the latest characters. Wasn't that such a big problem? And what did we come out and say? You just gotta build better. I believe Saint was one of those people that says, y'all gotta build. Look at me clearing with these characters, despite the fact that a vast number of the community was saying that it was really hard. I made videos where people were literally saying it was impossible to clear unless you had the newest units with dupes and all that. That it was impossible for free-to-plays to clear. It was so much so that I grabbed a viewer's account that hadn't played for months. Played their account for a week, improved their account, and then proceeded to beat everything on stream. So, I'm just saying. I think that in a situation like this, we got to be a little bit more self-conscious towards our own voice and how we talk to the community when we're talking about all these other games and all these other things. But that's just going to be it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.